is it even possible for someone to have two kingdom spouses? How can someone be blessed to have two kingdom spouses? And one gentleman that God sent to me is called Pastor Davis.
Okay.
He's a senior pastor in VFCC, Victoria Faith Church.
Okay.
And I had never met him before, but someone, a mutual friend, was just led by God to connect the two of us, and he became an important figure in my journey.
Yeah.
And I met him, and first time, and he said, first and foremost, I was praying today to God. I didn't know who Pius is, and I asked God, please give me a message for Pius.
Yeah.
And he opened his conversation with me. Literally, this is what God said. He said, I did not take Helima away from you.
Okay.
In the way you think.
Yeah.
And Helima is with me. And it was quite a conversation there, but he really brought the perspective that God is not evil.
Yeah.
That was the first message God was sending to me.
Yeah.
And then, after we were done with our conversation, he said, I feel led to tell you to give you two instructions.
Okay.
The first instruction, please read some Proverbs 31 over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I don't know why, but just read Proverbs 31 over and over.
Yeah.
Instruction number 2, find this book called God is a Matchmaker by Derek Prince and just read it.
Yeah.
Kambua, that's exactly what I did. Every day, Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31. Yeah. I'm in the gym, I'm putting my earphones on, Proverbs 31 on YouTube is on replay.
Yeah.
Over and over, 1 hour, every day, every day. Until I'm like, hey, I'm getting revelations as I am working out.
Yeah.
Number 2, I started reading the book, God is a Matchmaker. And I was completely blown away.
Yeah.
Because Derek Prince met his first wife exactly how I met Helima.
Yeah.
And his wife passed on.
Okay.
And he was like, God, is it even possible to have another?
Yeah.
And that night, God gave him a vision. And he ended up marrying Ruth.
Yeah. His
first wife was Lydia.
Yeah.
And he married Ruth.
Yeah.
And that was like, as I was reading that book, I was reading my story.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm reading my own script. So I was like, okay, God, how much do you trust me?
Yeah.
Now he started opening for me that response. First of all, you can have two kingdom spouses, just not at the same time.
Right.
So, and then that journey began. A very profound moment was in August. Late July. Yeah. I think July 28th. One of the people who just was, people send you all manner of things.
Yeah.
People love to send scriptures. That's not even what you need at that point. But there is somebody who sent me a scripture.
Okay.
And that scripture, it just jumped. It was Genesis 22.
Okay.
And I went to read Genesis 22. And it is a story of Abraham. God has instructed him to go and sacrifice his
son.
One son whom he loves.
Yeah.
And they leave behind the other servants, and they're going up the mountain, and Isaac asks his father, Father, I see the fire, and I see the firewood, but where is the lamb?
Yeah.
And Abraham, who knew the journey that he had waited for his son until 100 years.
Yeah.
And now God had said, first of all, this is going to be a son of promise.
Yeah.
And now God has asked him to sacrifice.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And Abraham did not really answer to Isaac. He answered himself. He answered to himself.
Yeah.
He said, my son, the Lord shall provide for himself. For himself. Not to him, for himself.
Yeah.
And those words just jumped into my heart. And like, the Lord shall provide for himself.
Yeah.
And what God showed me were two things. Number one, God showed me that now everybody was so sad that I'm left with 5 children. But he showed me, even me, I was dispensable.
Yeah. Yeah.
When God has a promise, it is for him to fulfill that promise.
Yeah.
And he has the latitude to do that.
Yeah.
Number 2 was like, because these children are children of promise, it is him who will provide for himself. So all those people who know me in this season, my anchoring was, the Lord shall provide for himself. So my journey began there, and God began again to speak to me very vividly about, there is another one coming. There is one I've prepared. And dreams and all manner of things, which I know we don't have all the time to do that. But it was so clear that there is one he's appointed. I'll give you one of the interesting moments. We were in church sometime in October, and one of us was traveling to Washington on an assignment. And we were just finishing church, wrapping up church, and it was time to pray. And the pastor stands up, and we all stand up, and we're just about to pray. And before she could start, she's called Pastor Joy. She said, who has a golden key? And I'm like, everybody's like, who asked for a golden key? And everybody started fidgeting with their pockets, and others their handbags. But one lady called Sylvia had a golden key.
Okay.
So she removed the golden key, and she's headed to hand it over to the pastor, and the pastor said, no. God says, give that key to Pius.
Okay.
So the key is put in my hands. I'll send you the picture. And I took a picture, and then she's like, go and ask God why he says we hand over the key to you. And the following day, God makes her to send me an image of another golden key. She sends me a picture on WhatsApp. She says, God has reminded me again and to ask you to ask him what this means. So I look at this picture. It had butterflies. It had a branch that was hanging like from heaven, and a key was hanging from the branch, a golden key. It was like landing on the earth. And the colors of the flowers were the color scheme of our wedding with Helima.
Oh, okay.
And there were butterflies. When I proposed to Helima, there were butterflies everywhere.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, okay, this clearly has significance with Helima. And when I prayed about it, the Spirit led me to interpret Helima was handing over the key from heaven to the next person who has an assignment, because these are 5 children, this is a family. You can't make it if you don't have the key.
Correct.
Fast forward. Anyway, I'll bring that. Fast forward. When the day Joyce and I got married, her mom lives in the US. She had bought 3 gifts, and she said, these 3 gifts, do not open them until you start your honeymoon.
Okay.
And we're in our honeymoon suit. And we remember, these gifts, we can only open them. We were supposed to open them after we are married. So she's like, you open. Which is very strange, because she opens all the gifts. But this time she was like, you open. So I opened one of the first box that I opened. It was a golden key.
Oh my goodness.
a golden key with a lock written M&M, Muthoni and Mushiri.
Yeah.
I sat down.
Wow.
It is not a lock for locking a door.
A key, a golden key.
A golden key. And I'm like, I can't believe this. I called Mom. I asked her, Mom, she's called Lini Wanja.
Yeah.
Mom, explain to me how you bought this key.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know.
My goodness. Wow.
I don't know. I just felt led to buy you the
Oh my
key.
goodness. Yeah.
And that was a sign that the key was handed over to Joyce.
Yeah.
And that is fast forward. So come back. So sometime in January 2023, I've been walking with God. I know by the way she's coming. And God starts saying consistently, it is time.
Yeah.
It is time.
Yeah.
It is time. It is. I'm like, God, what is going on?
Yeah.
I would, anything.
Yeah.
Anywhere and if I'm watching a video, like I remember this night, I was watching a video.
Yeah.
I'm alone, so I have all the time. I was watching a video and then fell asleep. And the video continued playing. Another one came, another one came. Then I woke up and I look at my phone and the last video, which was just about to finish, the title was It Is Time.
Okay, wow.
At Sarit, I'm driving my car. I get to just before the roundabout, the policeman just stops. And I'm the one at the front. I look in front. Yeah. It's written, It Is Time.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I can't believe. My friend, you know Esther?
Yes,
Richard.
yes, Richie, yeah.
Richie, God sends him a message. Please send Pius this thing written, It Is Time.
Aye. Okay.
So it was so many things. So I was like, God, what, am I supposed to do something?
Yeah.
In this time, it is time. I'm like, no, you just wait. So March 13th, 2023, and I'm really speeding up the story.
I know, we are not doing this story, but we will come back to it. It's okay. Yeah.
March 2023, 2023.
Yeah.
I'm meeting Rev Peter Odera.
Yeah.
He's coming to my office. We have a meeting at 11.
Yeah.
And he comes.
Yeah.
And then he tells me, by the way, I've invited Joyce to join me. I would want to do an introduction. And he does not even tell me who Joyce is.
Yeah.
But she was not on the calendar.
Okay.
She was not on my calendar.
Yeah.
So I assumed he was speaking about his wife.
Okay, yeah. Rose.
Rose, for some reason. And then at about 12 noon, my PA comes. Yeah. She's called Cynthia. She's like, Pius, Joyce is here. Can I let her in? And I'm like, is she the one you're expecting? He's like, yes. Yeah. Let's say, please let her in. Yeah. So she walks in. And the moment I look at her and I'm like, this cannot be Rev Pete's wife. I think I know how she looks.
Huyu ni mwingine.
So she sits down and Rev Pete does a good introduction. Yeah. And then he's like, please make your pitch. She was doing affordable housing. Yeah. And she needed someone who is specialized in finance to help her. Yeah. And she starts talking. And I'm like, God, what's going on? Because I am hearing two voices at the same time. One is inside me, and another one is the one that is talking. So I'm like, this has never happened to me. Yeah. And we're done with the meeting. Later on, let me just say what happened. Later on, when he told Rev Pete that where we were headed, he's like, I have been waiting for this, because when Joyce walked in and you guys shook hands, I held my nose and I said, what have I just done? Oh my goodness. So he saw something. He saw it immediately. Wow. And he said, have I just introduced Pius to his future wife? Wow. So he saw it, but he kept he pondered like Mary in his heart.
Yeah.
And God will not let him to say anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, the project was too early in its infancy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I better just hold your hand.
Yeah.
And because I can see the product needs someone who has financial expertise to be fully formed. So that's how I met Joyce again. No, sorry. So after Joyce left, I called my best man. I tell my best man, I don't know what has happened, but someone has come into my office and I feel like a big door has just been flung open, literally flung open, and I had no control.
Yeah.
And he's like, who is this? It's a lady called Joyce. And he laughs because to him, his interpretation was, this guy has been grieving, but now he's starting to see.
Yeah, his eyes are opening again.
His eyes are open. But to me,
it was
different. So the following day, I woke up in the morning, I'm doing my devotion, and the first thing that I ask God, and I write in my prayer journal, God, who is Joyce? And why did I feel the way I felt? And then I said, I leave it to you.
Yeah.
So from there, it was now me, I'm trying to support her. And meeting one, meeting two. By the way, Joyce had never met me before.
Okay.
And I was wearing my wedding ring.
Yeah.
Another story. So to Joyce, I was married.
Yeah.
She did not know my story. And so this was pure business. But as we began to meet and we were talking, our conversation started changing, shifting from business to
more friendly,
walking with God. And to her, she was like, I have never met a person who walks with God like you. And this is something that I really desire.
Yeah.
I don't know, how do you do it?
Yeah.
She's been born again for many years, but this walk with God is very, very unique. And of course, after some time, she got to know that
your story,
my story. So her first instinct was, I am so sorry that you have been grieving and have been demanding from you.
Oh, wow.
And her instinct was to protect me. And I told her, no, don't worry, life has to move on. But I hoped that that knowing will not change our friendship and make her feel like I'm after her or anything. So, and God nurtured that. So a few meetings, and I began to feel there was really nothing in it for me. From a business perspective or anything. I was literally just doing CSR. So I asked God, why am I in Joyce's life? And he was like, I want you to direct Joyce towards me. And I'm like, why does Joyce need me to direct her to you? And he's like, I was like, anyway, I've learned obedience. So let me just do God's bid. But this will make you laugh because my training as all my life has been, if you're discipling anyone, she's unlikely to become your wife.
Right.
You don't eat. Don't eat your
flock. The shepherd doesn't.
The
shepherd, he doesn't do that.
But again, God is not religious. So our friendship was protected because of that. I didn't expect anything from her. And she did not expect anything from us. But we were growing closer without even realizing we were growing closer. And the day I realized that I need to really accelerate matters with God was on her birthday. Her birthday was on May 23rd, 2023. She was turning 38. And in my view, we had not known each other for long enough, so I didn't deserve to be invited for her birthday. So on 22nd, I asked, can I, as my way of gifting you for your birthday, can I send someone, a chef, to your house to cook for you whichever meal you please? I will buy the ingredients and they will cook the meals for you, even if it's for the week. That's my birthday gift to you. And she's like, fine. Sure. I sent the chefs. There were 2 chefs. In the morning, they started cooking for her. I think she chose to do seafood. Seafood. So 3-course meal, dessert.
Wow.
Soup. Blah, 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 you know. But then she sent me a message saying there is a movie showing on her birthday. If it's okay, we watch together. And I was like, okay, this is inside.
Deep state.
This is deep state. Kitchen cabinet. And I said, I could not say no. I said, why not? This was the first time I was out there in public with someone other than Helima. And I remember we went to Sarit. And Kambua, I felt like I was cheating. I felt like I was like, I felt awkward. There was nothing going on between us. But I was like, this is really awkward.
I'm not supposed to be.
I'm not supposed to be.
Oh dear,
So, you know, we went, watched the movie. And after that, I had done a nice portrait for her, picture. I didn't want anything meaning too much, but I think I also did more than...
I don't know about sending T-shirts to my house.
Later on, I realized God set me up. God set me up.
What do you mean?
God set me up, nice one. You know, I've had reactions from women, and they're like, what? You did what? Me, let me tell you, to be spirit-led is another story. So, the central attraction between Joyce and I was her hunger for living a spirit-led life. And that is exactly the instruction God had given me. Lead her towards me, how to walk with me. And so she would go tell her friends, you know, I have this friend of mine, he's called Pius. This guy lives a spirited life. And they like, Ati what? So she'll tell her story. But even I was like, hey, this thing is, are you sure he's just your friend? Anyway, so after that birthday, I had made a vow to God. I'll never commit to anyone unless he has approved. And I had told Joyce all along, because I did not want to mislead her, that we are friends, and these are my conditions. Me, I only marry the one who God says. So I don't want in any way my actions to be misinterpreted. But I felt very strongly after that I needed to remove myself from her and just dedicate my time to pray and know what is God saying about this. So on I called her. I told her on 29th of May, I'll begin a 21-day fast. I will not call you. I will not write to you. I will not text to you. I will not text you. There will be absolutely zero communication between you and I. But just know, see no fire. I am not. I'm not one of those guys who just zoom out or zone out of a friendship. I just want to make sure that I'm aligned with the Spirit of God.
Get clarity.
Get clarity. And she's like, you know what, why not? And I remember 27th was 29th was a Monday, so 27th was a Saturday. Yeah. And we were like, let's have our last coffee together. Yeah. So we met at the waterfront. And we spoke that day. Yeah. Is the first time as we were speaking, everything began to come together for me. And I started connecting all the things that God had told me, how they were converging with this woman. Yeah. And I told her, this is so interesting. Yeah. And I remember that night we spoke until past midnight. Yeah. And she asked me, do you still want to do your 21 days? I said, absolutely yes. And there is this, so in my teaching, of how to walk with God, I taught her something that I had borrowed from Priscilla Shira. You know her? Yeah. Shira. Yeah. And her and her husband had said, if you're making a big decision in your life, you need to not only hear from God once, but you need to seek His confirmation and His confirmation. And they gave an analogy of landing a Boeing 777. Yeah. You see, when you're landing a Boeing 777, you're up there, you don't look for one light. Yeah. You don't look for two lights. Yeah. You look for a ray of lights on one side and another ray of lights on the other side, and you know this is where you land your Boeing 777. Yeah. So see, this is just one light. We need many lights, and it's a beautiful analogy that I carry forward. Yeah. So 29th, it was cold turkey. Yeah.
You've started your fast.
I've started my fast. Yeah. And oh dear, I did not know that I would miss her that much. My goodness, I did not know we had bonded that much. Yeah. Even though there was really nothing between us. But my state before I began that, and the reason why I insisted on us having a last coffee is in case she could not handle God's decision that we were never meant together, that would have been our last supper. Okay. Yeah. And also, I knew it would hurt me. Yeah. So, like, I was ready for God to say no. Yeah. And I was happy with that. Yeah. No matter how much I felt about it. Yeah. So, day one, I woke up in the morning, God was like, you've already met your wife. Day 2, day 3, there was no day God missed to talk to us, to talk to me, and confirming her over and over and over, until God was just, I had never seen that side of God. Do you remember he asked me, how much do you trust me? Yeah. I think day 9, he was like, you know your wife is very beautiful. And I'm like, God, you speak this kind of language? Yeah. And he's like, I will preserve her for you. And like, wow. 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 And there's something so beautiful when you hear from God. When God says beautiful, it's not how you say beautiful. Yes. It comes with such intensity and depth. Like, wow. And the following day, day 14, believe it or not, it was June 12th. Remember June 12th? Halima's birthday. Yeah. I woke up in the morning, and I used to use, I normally do my devotions using a Bible plan. Yeah, yeah. And guess the Bible study for that day was on which scripture? Genesis 22. 22, oh, yeah. And I'm like, God, I know this thing like at the back of my hand. There is no revelation for me. He's like, my son, go back. Yeah. And by the time I was done, God was like, today, I want to tell Joyce that she's the one. Wow. And I'm like, I am not done with my 21 days. Like, I have released you. Now you can speak to her. So on my way to work, I call my best man. Hey, my partner in crime. He's the only guy, tell him, he's the only guy who's been a best man twice for the same guy. And it is all good.
Yes.
So I call him and I tell him, bro, imagine God has released me to speak to Joyce and tell her she is the one. He's like, what? It is Joyce. Confirmed. I said yes, without any doubt. And he's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I think I want to honor God with the rest of the 7 days. I'll just do Thanksgiving. I'll speak to her 1 week from today.
Okay.
That sounds very noble.
Yeah.
Go to the office, do my business, then I go to the washroom, and God has done. There's no reputation on you with God.
Yeah.
I'm in the washroom and God is like, I told you it will happen on the first day of the 13th month. So on February 16th, God has spoken to me about an anniversary, which I did not know it was exactly for what. Like, what? First day of the 13th month? Then I was like, then that corresponds with Helima's birthday, which is today, but that can only be tomorrow. And the Holy Spirit was like, no, check again. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the washroom, picture this. If Helima was alive, today would have been the first day of her 48th year. And because she shares a birthday with Amazing Zoe, so today is the first day of Amazing Zoe's 13th month. So today is the day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I literally ran because what God was challenging was my obedience. I was being religious. Insisting on 21 days. Like, I don't want Thanksgiving. I have a mission.
I've told you to do something.
I need to do something. So I go to my office, pick up my phone, and I call. And I don't know what to expect because anything is possible. Maybe she moved on. And she picks up and she's laughing. And she's like, and I'm like, hi. She's like, hi. And I'm like, I hope you've been praying. And she's like, yes, I've been praying. And I'm like, I hope you've been hearing God. And she's like, yes, I've been hearing God. And then I'm like, I hope you know you're the one. She's like, yes, I know I'm the one.
Wow.
I'm like, I cannot believe. I'm like, how do you know you're the one? Now later on, I'm like, how did you know you're the one? She's like, the same morning, June 12th, she was leaving the house to go and do her nails. And she gets to the door and she has this strong unction to go back to the house and pray. And she kneels down next to her bed and she opens the Bible and it lands on Ruth 4:11. And God says, pray over this scripture. And this where it says, and your house shall be like Leah and Rachel, who brought up the house of Israel. And your husband will be famous like you know. And God is like, okay, go back to the scripture and now replace the word Leah and Rachel with you and Helima.
Oh, wow.
So, like, and it was like, receive Mushiri, say Mushiri as your husband. And she's like, I receive Mushiri as my husband. And God is like, now you can go.
Wow.
So she's at the salon. She cannot believe.
Wow.
It's not yet 21 days. So this date is very important. Because when on that day Helima was in hospital, as people now join me to pray with me, our spiritual dad, Rev John, as also he was praying, he got a revelation and he called us together. And he said, I've received a word from God and God says that we call this a good day. And everybody started saying, today is a good day. Today is a good day. Helima is fighting for life.
Wow.
And we're saying, God, today is a good day. What we did not know, we were prophesying for that same day 1 year from that day. So it turned out to be truly today is a good day.
It became truly a good day.
So that day is never remembered as a dark day. It's remembered as a day that was a good day. It was a good day. So from there, it was about how do we tell the parents. So we went through a whole... I always asked myself when I was married to Halima, if I died, how would I have wanted her to conduct herself?
Yeah.
And it was very clear to me, I would have wanted her to do everything that we would have done if we were together.
Yeah.
So I made a decision that the first people I will honor with this news was her parents.
Yeah.
So I needed their blessing more than even from my own parents.
Yeah.
Because, and I had prayed to God and had asked him, I just don't want a wife. I just don't want you to, a mother for our children.
Yeah.
But please give my parents a daughter.
Yeah.
Give Halima's parents a daughter.
Yeah.
Give Halima's brothers and sisters a sister.
Yeah.
Give Halima's friends.
Yeah. Another friend.
Another friend. So went there, and I will never be grateful enough to them.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
Yes, of course.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
But I remember Halima's mom saying she thought if it was one of her sons who was going through the same thing, what would she have wanted for him?
Yeah.
And she said, that's exactly what I would want for you.
Yeah.
That even though it's not easy, I want the same blessings that I would want for my own blood son.
Yeah. Wow.
So they've been a great support.
Yeah.
We are together. Even last weekend we were together.
Wow.
So very in this journey.
Yeah.
So from the first day I met Joyce, March 13, 2023, to our wedding date, it was 6 months.
Wow. It's amazing.
Was 6 months.
Yeah.
And from there, it's been an absolute story of restoration.
Yes.
So I engaged her on August 5th. And this engagement was, I feel so unfair to even not mention. I've not mentioned Susan in this story.
I've told you we will come back. And in fact, I'll ask Joyce if she can come when we come back. But let's continue.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
But this time, when I was getting married the second time, was very different from the first time.
Yeah.
Because I asked God, what is the opportunity in this situation? And what struck me is that my children had never seen me date and get married.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is my opportunity to demonstrate to them how to date the godly way,
do it right,
and how to get married the godly way.
Yeah.
So we went through that process. I told them, by the way, if God blesses me, I don't mind remarrying. And we went through a whole debate. Emmanuel was like, I would never want my father to be lonely. You know? So anyway, on the date or when you're planning her surprise engagement, so it's the children who asked her, will you marry our dad?
Our dad. Oh my gosh.
Will you marry our dad?
That's beautiful.
And the moment that happened, instantly Tahila started calling her mom.
Oh, wow.
Instantly.
Wow.
Tahila started calling her mom.
Wow.
And Kambua, I don't know how to describe this.
Yeah.
I still remember I was upstairs.
Yeah.
Tahila was downstairs.
Yeah.
Joyce was going down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I heard, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
I didn't know how I had missed those words.
Yes.
Mom.
And Tahila got what she had asked for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Tahila was like, why are you not staying with us? And she's like,
not yet.
She's like, not yet. We need to do a wedding.
Yes.
Then I can come stay with you guys.
Yeah.
And she's like, you need to get married for the second time.
Yeah. Oh, bless. Yeah.
So she was like, okay, fine. You need to get married for the second time.
Yeah.
So Tahila started calling her mom.
Wow.
then Shemuel, and then the two boys, Emmanuel and Lemuel, kind of waited, let's do the wedding. So from the date of the wedding, everybody called her mom. And this again is a very spiritual walk. Because God gave me a very specific instruction. Never ever call her stepmom. See, there is no such word in his vocabulary.
She's
he
the
said,
mother.
Call her new mom. Just like Helima, when she got Emmanuel, she became a new mom. Even this one has gotten 5 children and it's become a new mom. Over time, the new falls away.
Correct.
And now everybody just calls her mom. Believe it or not, Kambua, I wonder who came. Is it me or Joyce? Because all the kids, everybody is mom. They knock on our bedroom.
You're like, I'm here.
I'm like, I'm here.
I've been here longer. I'm here. That's
mom.
Beautiful.
So the word mom was redeemed.
Wow. Redemption.
So the other thing I want to say is, before I met Joyce, I asked God, what do you want from this second marriage? And he was very clear, redemption. Our family carries a story of redemption. Not for ourselves, for many people. For many people. So this redemption, I've experienced it in very interesting ways. Like hearing the word mom, like, oh my God, I don't know, I did not know I had lost that too. I remember our first holiday together, and I was carrying Joyce's bags, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? And I realized it was the first time I was feeling I have a wife.
Wow.
That,
you have someone to take care of.
Can you imagine? We don't just lose a person. We lose feelings. We lose certain sentiments. And God cares that much. And you're like, oh my gosh. So it's been just a journey of marveling. I marveled in 2 ways. I marvel when I wake up every day and I'm like, I can't believe that Helima does not walk on this earth. And then I marvel at looking how God brought Joyce. He designed her from the day she was born that this was her place.
And she fits so perfectly in that place.
She fits so perfectly in her place.
Wow.
And I'm like, Helima, literally, if I was to use English words, was like Joyce's surrogate mother. She carried the children. And now Joyce has an assignment to see these children fulfill their purpose in God. And one of the things that God used to teach me now about when he was telling me who the kind of wife who he would give me, he said, your wife will be blessed and highly favored amongst women. And I asked him why. And he said that title has only been used on Mary, the mother of Jesus. Before that, she was a virtuous woman. But the moment she accepted to carry Jesus, who was literally not from her ovaries nor from Joseph's loins, was an adopted child, a symbol of adoption, our adoption to Christ, to God, as sons. She has a love and a grace that a natural woman doesn't necessarily have. It's an extra grace to be able to bring up a child who did not come from your womb. It's an extra grace. So you're called blessed and highly favored. It's higher than a virtuous woman. So Joyce is blessed and highly favored amongst women.
Yes, she is.
So that's been our story.
Wow.
You know, one of the questions that I get a lot, we get a lot is it must be difficult. Like, no,
yeah,
it's been easy.
Yeah,
because the grace of God
is there and is enough,
there,
is sufficient for you.
And we didn't create this thing for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys, but we are going to have to close this. I have sort of promised on my end, I'll let Pius go talk to Joyce, and if she agrees, I will make time to bring them and we can just talk about what that is like. It would be so great to just add her voice to this conversation, because she's, you can tell she's such a big part of this story, of this I want to call it second half of Pius's story. And just, you know, because we celebrate different journeys of motherhood here on this podcast, just seeing how we become mothers in so many different ways. And that one day Joyce did not have children, and the next day she had 5 children, you know, and what that is like, what does it mean for her, but also for you who's watching, to just understand that, I keep saying this, that God writes the most beautiful stories. They may have detours that can be very painful, very hard to understand, but when you look back in hindsight, you find that He was there all along, leading you, guiding you, as we've seen with your story, Pius. And I know we've talked for a while, but I know there's still so many things you had to, like, you know, cut off because of time, obviously. But thank you for sharing your heart with us. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being honest and vulnerable in order to help somebody else. Thank you for reminding us of redemption, that's what God does. He heals us, He restores us, He redeems us. And that your story, before we started recording this, you were telling me how without God we are nothing. Our reputation, our whatever, is nothing. And really, that's what this is. That's what your story is a story, is a God-written story. Without Him, you would probably have broken in that pain and drowned in that pain. But because He asked you later on, how much do you trust me? You continue to trust Him. And thank you. We're so inspired by that. Thank you for sharing that with us today, Pius. His name is Pius. You need to also check out his YouTube channel. Tell us the name again.
My YouTube, please join my YouTube channel. It is called Pius Mushiri Mugo, The Unbound Tribe.
There you go.
And really embodies my story, that God is limitless.
Oh, He is.
God is unbound.
He is unbound. God is unbound.
And all of us should live an unbound life.
I believe so as well. Thank you, Pius. Please give our love to your family, your children, and to your wife. And I know this is not the last that we're hearing. We will hear more from this story. I feel like this story, even what you know right now, there's still so much more that's coming.
It's true. It's true.
And we look forward to hearing and to seeing what more God keeps doing with the two of you and with your children. So as we finish, Pius, could you give us a parting shot, final words?
Okay. Thank you. I think I want to speak to anybody who has walked this journey, is walking this journey, and many who will walk this journey in the future. Number one, I just want to say, I want to remind you from this story, how much do you trust God? When in the seasons of adversity, our greatest challenge is how do we define our relationship with God. And if you are walking this journey, or you'll walk this journey in the future, I want to pose this challenge to you again. How much do you trust God? Because God is, when I lost my wife, God was already 1 year ahead of me, about to usher in Joyce. Number two, I want to say God leaves no gaps. God leaves no gaps. When Helima passed on, my children did not miss a mother, because he brought Susan Otieno and her family to step in, and I lived with Susan for 1.5 years in the house, a baby who never breastfed, a baby who never met her mother. But amazing Zoe can never ever stand and say that she has never had a mother, she missed a mother at any point in her life. So the first 1.5 years of her life, God made sure, God sent us Susan, so that amazing Zoe's story will be amazing. And I believe if you look around you, you will identify as Susan. And I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Susan and her husband, Rev Tom Otieno, and their children, our children. I know this story of Susan and I and the Otienos will be told another time, but I want it to be on record that I am eternally grateful. And I want to encourage everyone with Susan that there is a Susan in your life. Even before you meet your Joyce, there is a Susan that God will send to make sure that there is no gap. And for all the Susans out there, I want to appreciate you. I want to say you are blessed, and your reward, even though you will have a reward here on earth, you have much more reward even in heaven, because no human being can ever reward you. I also want to speak to the Joyces out there that you're bold, you're courageous to take on 5 children or 1 child or 2. It is to take on a package. I want to say thank you to my wife Joyce, and may God bless you beyond measure for taking on the responsibility of ensuring that what Helima left behind those children, that offspring, will meet their divine purpose. Your reward is beyond measure. And to all those ladies that I know who have done what Joyce has done, I love you all. God bless you. God is a good God. God is a good God in all seasons.
Amen.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you, Pius. Thank you. And thank you, all of you being Kambua family, for staying here with us. And I look forward to catching up with you again next time. God bless you.
Women are not dying because of causes we do not know. Because of diseases we do not know. We know these diseases. Women are dying because we have not made a conscious decision that their lives are worth saving.
Oh my goodness.